Okay, welcome to episode 2 of the Paranormal Review, where we review ghost hunting equipment to see if it's really viable for finding entities and really just discovering paranormal events. Today, we will be reviewing the Ovilus V. From the jump, this is just a very portable device. You can put it in your pocket. That goes without saying. It's also 3D printed, which means it has grooving on the sides, but again, that's really good for grip, and I think it's probably a plus on this machine. The Ovilus comes with this extendo charger, which I think honestly is really cool. And space saving. Okay, so we're going to kind of run through everything. Power switch, pretty simple on the bottom. And it starts up super fast, as you can see. We have the headphone jack in the top, along with the charger, and the 2 antennas to detect environmental data. Now, dictionary mode, the one I just clicked, is the most popular, and it's the one I use the most, mostly when I'm using an SB7 Spirit box. I'm shaking it because I want to see if it gives me a response by movement, because I want to make sure I'm not holding it or walking around when I use that. Next is energy detection mode. I assumed this was EMF, but nothing in the manual or anything tells you what it does. So I tried shaking it to see if that gives you a response. And it does. So now I don't really understand what energy is because it already has an accelerometer one or a movement one that detects vibrations. This is draw mode. Apparently, an entity is able to manipulate the device to create an image on the screen. So I try shaking it to see if that gives you some sort of change, and it does. So apparently, the machine takes all of the environmental data and somehow changes it, somehow creates it, but we don't know how that works. So true and false mode is my second favorite. It gives you a yes or no question by pointing the cursor upward for true and downward for false. So I just wanted to tip it around a little bit, see if it takes that environmental data and uses it, and it seems to actually take it. So I don't know if it takes everything all at once to get an answer. Digital dowsing doesn't really tell you anything about that. This is vibration mode, and this one's actually really useful. If you set it on a table, you think it's shaking, it's good for that kind of stuff. As you can see, it's very sensitive. Last but not least is phonetic mode, where the device creates certain vowels and little noises just to allow an entity to communicate through it. Again, I'm shaking it to test if I get responses when I'm moving it, because when I'm doing an investigation, I don't want to be holding it and walking around and getting false information, false communication. So I don't usually have to charge this that often. I charge it every 6 or 7 investigations, and that's just because I want to make sure it's fully charged, but it doesn't use a lot of battery. That's always a plus. Another thing is, though, I don't necessarily think this device proves that there's a paranormal entity or an anomaly happening in your vicinity. I like to use it with a spirit box, because then if a word comes through this and then also comes through the spirit box, I can confirm that as a real response. But scientifically, I'm not sure this device really cuts it, because I don't really know how it's working. I don't know how it's deciding the wording or what it's doing, but I do realize it does have real value in it. So whenever I use this in dictionary mode, I make sure to set it down. I keep it away from any electrical devices, because then when I get a word, I can assure that it's caused by an entity or a spirit and not one of those weird things or something going on that I'm doing with my phone or something like that. I should also point out, when you're doing an investigation, you should always have your cell phone in airplane mode, because it can affect a lot of your devices like this, or a K2 EMF meter, and things like a Tesla Spirit radio we realized cell phones actually affect. The backlit screen is perfect for nighttime. You can see it very clearly. Everything in the touchscreen works really well. I can't complain about that at all. The device seems durable. Everything, even with the electronics, seems great, and I can't complain at all. Now let's get to the pros and cons. The device is very portable. That's my favorite part. You can put it in any pocket, bring it anywhere. Super user friendly, anyone can use it, and it has so many different options, you really can't go wrong. Long battery life and great build quality from digital dowsing. Now let's get to the things I don't like. At just over $400 with shipping, not everyone's going to be able to afford this. And at times, after using it for a few months, it really seems gimmicky at times. At different investigations, it gives me the same words like every time, so I can't tell if it's a real answer. Sometimes the build wait is also 6 weeks or more, so it's going to take you a while to get. And the speaker quality could be a lot better. A lot of the times in big groups, people can't hear it, and that's a bummer. Now for my final rating, I give the Ovilus V a 6 out of 10. And that's just because digital dowsing doesn't really tell us the science behind it, and I can't use that to decipher whether I'm encountering an anomaly or a real spirit. So when used in conjunction with the SB7, it's amazing. And in groups, when some words come out, it gets you an amazing reaction. So it is just a lot of fun to use. So keep that in mind. So if you're doing big tours, not always great because it can't be heard.